Gost našeg magazina je nezaboravni Lamine Gueye, učesnik 14. Zimskih olimpijskih igara u Sarajevu. Dobrodošli u glavni grad Bosne i Hercegovine, Sarajevo.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
42 godine poslije, ponovo ste u Sarajevu. Kako se osjećate?
If I had to give one word, it would be emotions. Almost the tears are coming out because, you always remember your first time. And Sarajevo was my first Olympic experience. I was very young and I've been living this as a dream. And I have probably three major memories. The number one memory is when I arrived here, I was all alone, no trainer, no coach. I mean, one-man team, so I had to do everything, a lot of things to do, to prepare the skis, to go to the captain's meeting and everything. So I had to ask for help for everyone. And the answer everybody was giving me at the time was, "Nema problema." And I remember that. So this is one memory I have. The second one is also full of emotion because before entering the opening ceremony, all the delegations are ready to go. And in the Serbo-Croat alphabetic order, it was Soviet Union Republic Russia, 400 athletes. And then Senegal, 1 athlete. And then a state unit of America, 400 athletes. And I was in the middle. It was very impressive. So you could feel those big teams and me all alone in the middle, like a symbol for peace, maybe. And then when I was walking through the opening ceremony, I entered the big stadium and everybody stands up and makes noise and applause. And then I cried. So it's emotion to be back here, a lot.
Kako ste uopće došli na ideju da kao prvi Senegalac, to jest Afrikanac, sudjelujete na Zimskim olimpijskim igrama?
I think, sometimes life puts some destiny in front of you. Sometimes good decision brings to good choice. Sometimes bad decision bring to good choice too, because I lost my father when I was very young. And I was very agitated when I was a kid in Senegal. So they have sent me to a boarding school in Switzerland, and then I discovered the snow. And I discovered the ski. And I fell in love with these sports. And when you're a teenager, you're a little bit crazy. And then I said, okay, I want to do these sports to the maximum possible. And the maximum possible was the Olympic Winter Games. And there was something more. There is sports, and there is the spirits that goes with the sports. And the symbol of Olympic is, I think, very strong because it's all the nations of the world, they come together, no matter where they come from, no matter the color, no matter the religion, and they just make sports in a peaceful way. So when I mixed my desire to go for competing in the ski, plus my desire to be part of this international message, the answer was Olympic Winter Games of Sarajevo.
U Sarajevu ste vozili discipline spust i slalom. Možete li se prisjetiti samo tog nastupa na Bjelašnici, tog osjećaja od starta do cilja?
Sarajevo downhill race is a unique race in the world of competing. It's the only race where you start from a house. Nobody has ever seen this before. There was a restaurant on the top of the mountain, and you had a door still inside the restaurant, and you were still in the restaurant, but there was a hole on the floor, and it was the start of the downhill. So we all remember that because it was only in Sarajevo, only in Bjelašnica. And it was very impressive to start there. And remember, I was 24 at the time. Your heart beats fast because it's downhill, because it's dangerous, and it's because it's Olympic. So for me, this starting from the restaurants is attached to the memory of the Olympic Games.
Šta je još ostalo vam u sjećanju na Sarajevsku olimpijadu? Da li ste uopće u to vrijeme mogli upoznati sam grad?
Well, when you go for the Olympic Games, even if you don't go to win the gold medal, your schedule is full. You have to go for training, you have to go for, especially when you race for Senegal, because you have to be the trainer, you have to be the captain meeting official, you have to do so many things that unfortunately at the time, I had not enough time to visit completely Sarajevo. They took us for a short time, maybe it was 1 hour, but I could feel something special about the city. And that special thing about the city is this capacity to have like all the religion living together in peace. And for me, it was an example, and it was not usual. You know, if you look everywhere around the world, people, they fight, and here, it's peace. You have the Catholic Church, you have the Orthodox Church, you have the synagogue, you have the mosque, all together in peace. And I'm very happy that today I have more time, and I could really feel and feed myself with this feeling of peace.
Upravo su i tako zvali Sarajevo kao evropski Jeruzalem.
I think it's a perfect connection. It is true. And I would even say that Sarajevo now is ahead of Jerusalem. I tell you why. Because in this part of the world now, it's war, it's killing, it's fire, and it's non-respect. And here, you have made a way that it's peace and respect. So maybe one day they will say that Jerusalem is the Sarajevo example to follow, to be here, because here you can make it in peace.
Yes. Sarajevo je tada bilo u Jugoslaviji, u sastavu bivše države Jugoslavije. I upravo na toj olimpijadi osvojena je prva medalja na Zimskim olimpijskim igrama. Jure Franko, veleslalom. Sjećate li se?
Of course, you know, when you make ski racing, you know all the champions. And I was racing in Sarajevo downhill, giant slalom, and slalom. And I was better in downhill. So for me, slalom was very difficult because it was not my natural discipline in skiing. So when I looked at him racing, I was really impressed. And I am a small nation when I race for Senegal, very small nations. And most of the time, the teams that wins, they are very big teams. So when the team from Yugoslavia, which is not a big team, is winning, it gives everybody hopes, meaning you can win even if you're not on a huge team. So this was very, how do you say, it brings hope to all the small nations.
A mi smo očekivali od vašeg prijatelja Bojana Križaja da će osvojiti medalju.
Yeah, I've been racing with Bojan Križaj. Very nice guy. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy guy. Very fun. Very fast on the skis. I remember we had like a few chats before the races and everything. But you know, again, when you go for Olympic race, you can be gold medal just by 0.3 of a second. So, of course, it's great to be a gold medal. But the person that arrived third is also a huge champion. But Bojan is a super guy.
Yeah. Pored učešća na olimpijadi u Sarajevu, učestvovali ste i na olimpijskim igrama u Abervilu i Lillehammeru. Kakva sjećanja nosite s tih olimpijskih igara?
Well, as I told you before, you always remember the first time. So Sarajevo has a special place because it's the first time. Just like, you know, the first time you fall in love or the first time you do something, it stays forever. After that, I went for Albertville, and the slope for me was extremely difficult because, let's say, in downhill racing, I'm more like a glider, and Sarajevo downhill was better for my style of skiing. So technically, Albertville was very difficult. Plus, I was a little bit older, you know, so you see things from a different perspective. And then I could see that Olympic Winter Games was sports, competition, but then I began to discover that it was also business. And so it brings another dimension. And what is very interesting is that the message of Olympics, it can be in Sarajevo, it can be in Albertville, it can be Lillehammer, should always remain the same. So all the athletes of the world coming together. Then I went to Lillehammer, and I was I was a bit stressed by one thing. It was minus 28 for the race. And remember, I'm from Senegal, so I'm used to the cold, but minus 28 was a problem there for the cold. But I would say again, those Olympic Games are and should remain the possibility for all athletes of the world to participate. And I insist on all athletes, because after 1992 Albertville, the qualifications and the possibility for small nations to go to Olympic changed. And the Olympic Committee told us, you cannot go to Olympic if you're not in the best 500 in the world. And for me, this is going against the spirit of Olympic. So it was my last Olympic. Because of that, something was broken. The International Olympic Committee broke something special. And they switched from universality to business. And I think they lost something. Humankind lost something.
I nakon aktivnog učestvovanja olimpijskih igara, u vama je ostao taj olimpijski duh, a tome i svjedoči knjiga koju ste napisali.
Yes, there is a time where, for two reasons. The number one reason is that in the same time, the International Olympic Committee and the International Ski Federation made it so difficult for us small nations to still be part of this wonderful dream that I had to find another way to express myself. And I thought maybe I could write a book to explain, because so many people asked me, just like you asked me before, how come you went skiing from Senegal? So I decided to write a book to, in one part of this book, explain how I ended up being a ski racer for Senegal. And the other part of the book is trying to explain that taking away small nations, no matter where they come from those big events is a mistake, and it has a lot of consequences. I explain myself. When you go to the Olympics of Sarajevo or to Albertville, the world can see you. The everyday people watching the TV are happy to see a racer from Senegal, from Morocco, from India, because it keeps a human dimension to the sports. And the message is very important. That's point number one. Point number two, when you have some media exposure, you can have sponsors, you can have some help, because people see you. If you cannot participate to World Cup or to Olympic Games anymore, you don't have this exposure. So slowly, you see small nations going away from the world and competition. So that's why I wanted to explain all those things in this book.
Rekli smo olimpijski duh. Jedna od tih koja je prepoznala da i danas u vama živi olimpijski duh je čuvena europska redateljica Aleksandra Frakas-Kostić, koja je zajedno sa našim sjajnim poznatim glumcem Adnanom Hasković krenula u realizaciju dokumentarnog filma Sarajevski spust, koji je zaista izazvao veliku pozornost ne samo u Sarajevu, Bosni i Hercegovini, nego širom Evrope i svijeta.
I think when you make a competition, it's very important to win. Maybe there is something more important to win. It's the way you win and the message that's going with your victory or with your participation. The world today is getting into a kind of chaos. For me, sport is a bridge. It's a bridge between human beings, no matter your country, no matter if you're rich or poor, no matter your religion, no matter your color. So I really deeply believe that you can touch the heart of people by telling them the truth. And what I liked about this project is that they were very honest from the beginning, and they care about telling the truth. Because 99% of the people on this planet are peaceful people, and they enjoy watching sports. And they want to see racers from all over the world. I remember, I have an anecdote, when I was going in the downhill in Albertville for the downhill at the finish. You know, the finish line was like in a circle like this. So when you arrive on the last second, on the last jump, you could hear everything. and the people made more noise for me than for the winner. This has a meaning, and the meaning is they recognize and they need that friendship that, to me, only sport can bring. You can support this team or this football team, but at the end, you shake your hands and you say, maybe I didn't win this time, but I will win the other time. What is more important is that you cannot make sports all alone in your room. You need somebody else to do it, to confront with. And when I mean to confront, it means with cohabitations, with exchange, with becoming friends. I'm still friends with a lot of ski racers now from all over the world. And this is the message, according to me, that the sport should give.
I na kraju, šta danas radi nekadašnji sarajevski olimpijac?
Well, I'm spending as much time as I can to try to transmit to the younger generation a few values. These values is, no matter what the others say, if you have something strong inside of you, if you have a will to go somewhere, follow your idea. Even if at the beginning it looks strange. The first time people told me, Lamine, you're crazy. But listen to your heart and go for your project. That's thing number one. Thing number two, as I told you, it is to me so important that you, I do this by doing conferences or masterclass, teaching the young guys to do that. And I try to help other federations. For example, there were one day a few years ago, the people from Haiti, they called me. From Madagascar, they called me and they say, we want to make a ski federation. So I was helping them to build a ski federation. So my example could help them to get better. But for the next generation, I really believe that today, I think sport is a healthy habit. It's healthy for your body, but it's also healthy for your brain because you have to confront to others. Sometimes they are better than you, then you learn from them. Sometimes you are better than them and they learn from you. So I think this is the most important message.
Hvala vam na izdvojenom vremenu I dođite nam ponovo u Sarajevo.
I will come back. You know why? Because I was walking in the streets of Sarajevo and you have, this waterfall in the middle of the city. They say, if you drink the water, you will come back. And I went to drink it.
Yes. Hvala još jednom. Bio je to nezaboravni Lamine Gueye, učesnik nezaboravnih 14. zimskih olimpijskih igara u Sarajevu.